Most people familiar with Newgrange will assert that it is a passage tomb. However, I challenge this conventional belief. This video will present a different perspective from the commonly narrated story about Newgrange. I had the opportunity to visit Newgrange in June 2018, and although I didn't feel anything special there energetically, the structure itself is highly impressive. Newgrange is situated along the Poynder River, north of Dublin. Along with Knowth and Douth, two vast earth mounds, the entire area is known as Brú Bo Inn or the Palace of the Boyne, as it is believed to be the burial place of ancient tribal kings, given the discovery of human remains inside the chambers. The common belief about Newgrange is its antiquity, often claimed to be older than Stonehenge and the Egyptian pyramids. If you've watched my previous video on the real alternative history of Earth, you'll know that I proposed the Great Pyramid of Giza is far older than the conventional estimate of 2600 BC given by archaeologists, dating back to at least 10,500 BC. Conventional archaeologists also assign a date of 3200 BC to Newgrange, which I suspect is too conservative. It's likely much older. The builders of this structure were believed to be the Beaker people, also responsible for constructions in Malta and Gozo. Intriguingly, evidence of the Beaker people is found nowhere else in Ireland or the rest of the world except in these two locations, Newgrange and Malta/Gozo. Newgrange itself is a substantial circular mound, called a tumulus, that is 85 meters, 279 feet, wide and 12 meters, 39 feet, high. It contains a passageway leading into a high-domed chamber with three side alcoves. Comprising about 200,000 tons, 196,841 tons, of material, it covers 4,500 square meters, 1.1 acres, of ground. The inner room is constructed with layered stones forming a beehive vault. Outside the structure, there are 97 curbstones carved with spirals around Newgrange. Spirals are often interpreted as indicating a portal, suggesting that, in this case, Newgrange may be considered a portal to the otherworld. When one visits Newgrange, the entrance stands out as particularly noteworthy. Known as the threshold stone, it features carved spirals framed by concentric circles and diamond shapes. The threshold stone is a good example of megalithic art, for which Ireland boasts the highest concentration in Europe, much of which is found in the Boyne Valley, with Brittany in France ranking second. Another significant feature is the solar alignment close to the shortest day of the year on Winter Solstice, December 21st. For approximately 5 days, the rising sun penetrates a roof box in the monument, illuminating the 62-foot-long inner chamber with sunlight. This illumination ends at a triple spiral relief sculpture in the furthest recess of the central chamber. The entire phenomenon lasts about 17 minutes and occurs only during the few days before and after the winter solstice, making Newgrange the largest and oldest solar observatory in the world. Less well known is that this is not the only astronomical alignment of Newgrange. Archaeoastronomers studying the various cairns at Newgrange, Knowth, and Douth have determined that the sunbeam on the solstice is accurately observed throughout the day by the different cairns. Furthermore, standing stones and cairns in close proximity to the Newgrange tumulus create sightlines that clearly indicate the ancient builders' precise awareness of other astronomically significant periods such as the equinoxes, the cross-quarter days, and both major and minor lunar standstills. The precise alignment and engineering of the lightbox also indicate one day, occurring only every 8 years, when the light of Venus enters the passage exactly 24 minutes before the light of the solstice sun. From a ley lines perspective, Newgrange, along with Knowth and Douth, is said by dowsers to intersect at key telluric energy points. Newgrange is part of an extensive network of lines connecting numerous crucial ancient sites. In Ireland, major complexes such as Carrowmore, Carrowkeel, Loughcrew, the Boyne Valley, and other sites like Tara, Fornox, Shebeg, and Shemer align along a specific line spanning from Sligo to Dublin. This line, bending at Queen Maeve's cairn atop Knocknarea, passes through the Cashel on Inishmurray and Glencolumkill. Remarkably, if you trace the line in the opposite direction from Knocknarea, it traverses Newgrange between the entrance stone and curbstone 52, through the chamber, and onward to Fornox. Stonehenge, the renowned English monument, aligns with this line, suggesting that the orientation of Newgrange could have been influenced by the positioning of Stonehenge, or vice versa. It's interesting that there is a myth recounted in Geoffrey of Monmouth's Historia that Merlin, the magician, played a role in transporting the Stonehenge bluestones from Ireland to Wiltshire through supernatural powers. This place in Ireland may actually be Newgrange. Regarding its function, why do I not consider Newgrange a burial tomb? Very few burial remains have been found within any of the large cairns of Ireland. It's been estimated that whatever they found only made up 0.4% of everyone who would have likely died during the period of construction of the mound, casting doubt on why such a small percentage is venerated. Of course, one argument is that Newgrange is only reserved for their god-kings. Recent DNA research in 2020 suggested that, firstly, those remains found in Newgrange could trace their origins to Anatolia, modern-day Turkey, but also shared close biological ties with people along the Atlantic coast of modern-day Spain and Portugal. Secondly, the remains indicated closely related individuals. These findings suggest the presence of prestigious family groups who often practiced endogamy, marrying within their own kinship circles. My perspective on Newgrange is that it's more likely to be a site built specifically for fertility. The interior layout of Newgrange, the entrance, inner passage, and burial chamber, resembles the female womb. Inside Newgrange, instead of human remains, more objects have been found that seem to suggest a fertility function, such as oval-shaped stones and rock phalluses, believed to have been left by young women in hopes of impregnation by the gods. This coincides with ancient Irish mythology, where the original purpose for the site was said to represent the birth of Angus, the forbidden child of Chief Dagda Mór, ruler of the Tuatha Dé Danann, a supernatural race in Irish mythology akin to gods, and his love, Bone, the goddess of the river Boyne. The penetration of light at the winter solstice, during which the sunbeam, representing Dagda, enters the inner chamber, representing the womb of Bone, and the sun's path stops in the center of the chamber, represents the conception of their child, Angus. Angus became an externally youthful exponent of love and beauty. Astronomically, the conception of Angus represents the rebirth of the sun at the winter solstice. There is a wilder theory that the ancient inhabitants of Ireland were refugees escaping the downfall of Atlantis. The Neolithic era witnessed a significant decline in fertility due to a series of substantial solar flares. To address this, the chambers within these structures were utilized for fertility rites, likely including rituals aimed at conceiving children. The mounds served as expansive orgone accumulators, intentionally designed to tap into the natural energies inherent in the earth for healing the womb. Orgone accumulators, which involve effectively alternating layers of organic and non-organic materials within the walls, are believed to increase a form of life force energy named orgone by Wilhelm Reich in the 1930s inside the enclosure relative to the surrounding environment. Another intriguing theory proposed by an independent chemist researcher is that Newgrange could be built with a function, to aid in the formation of iron. Inside the structure, ferrous sulfate is produced, which when drained into the surrounding bog areas, causes a buildup of bog iron deposits that can be harvested and processed to yield metallic iron. This would allow for a renewable resource and justify the amount of effort to build such a megastructure. What do you think the function of Newgrange is? Let me know in the comments below.